Now we're going to cover the resources that are available to you on the Orion Adult site. And the first thing that's important to remember is that you cannot access this site unless you are logged into your student Gmail account. You must be logged into your student Gmail or you will not be able to access it. The second thing you'll want to do is just click the star at the top right of your screen so that you can bookmark this site and find it whenever you log into your student Gmail. Scrolling down the home page, you'll see two main links featured. The first one is for Odysseyware, which is very important since that is where you will be doing your classes. The second link is not something you will need to worry about. You only need to use the time clock if you ever went and worked in person at your Orion location, so you don't need to worry about it as a virtual student unless you ever chose to go work in person. At the top, you'll also see the site menu, and we're going to briefly cover each one of these tabs. So first, let's look at this location tab. And hovering over the Locations tab, you'll see all of the Orion diploma completion sites listed. So you'll want to click on the location where you are enrolled. I am going to click on Wichita Northeast for this tutorial. At the very top, you'll see your site's social media accounts linked, and so you can click on and follow those accounts. It will have both encouraging things for studying and also important reminders and information about events going on with the school. Scrolling down, you'll see the adult calendar listed with all of the important dates like due dates and school closings for this school year. You will see the staff that works at your Orion location. And importantly, you can also see your teacher's contact information, their phone number, and the email where you can access them when you need help. Continuing to go down the page, you will see your site's hours listed. Now, of course, you can work on your school anytime through the Odysseyware website, but the site hours are important so that if you need to contact your teacher or your location for some reason, or if you chose to go work in person, you will want to know when those hours are. Under that, you'll see the adult Google Calendar, which has all of the same dates on it as the calendar that was linked above, but you can click the little blue plus button at the bottom right to add this to your student Gmail account's calendar. And then you can just access it really easily anytime you're logged into your student Gmail account. And now I'm going to be looking at this training day tab. And the main thing we want to see here is the student handbook. So much of what has been covered in this orientation already is hitting the high points of the student handbook, but it's always important to familiarize yourself with everything listed and all of the policies and procedures in the handbook. So you can find this under the Training Day tab. Continuing on in this menu, we will look at the Homework tab next. And the two main sections of the Homework tab are Writing Policy and Homework Helpers. Clicking on Writing Policy, we see that it links a YouTube video showing how to set up a Google Doc following MLA format, which is how you will be submitting any essays or any written work to Odysseyware. Under that, you can see some helpful resources for essay writing or writing longer assignments. There's an essay map that you can use, a sample outline, and an example of an MLA doc that you can use, and then also some links to online essay writing help. The other section of this Homework tab is Homework Helpers. And in Homework Helpers, this is going to have help for mainly the two main subjects of math and science, or math and English. And under the math reference section, you can see that there is this link to Khan Academy Math. Clicking that will take you to a whole website that is just dedicated to math help with basically every math resource that you could ever hope to find. So it's really, really helpful to use that Khan Academy Math during any of your math classes. Below that, there is some fact sheets about English grammar, different things to help with those English grammar lessons you'll have in English class, some help with poetry, and then a lot of the plays or short stories or novels that you will read for your English classes are linked here as well. So it has some video links for the plays so that you can watch those if you'd like to, and then also links for the internet text, and many of them have audio as well for a lot of the stories that you will read for English. And then the last section of this menu is the mental preparedness section, so we'll look at that here. And this mental preparedness tab is really dedicated to resources to help you have a proper mindset for your school and to have good mental health as you're doing school. The first one shows goals and study plan. And of course, having strong goals and a strong plan as you're beginning school as a virtual student is really important. So if setting these goals is going to be helpful to you to stay on track and be finishing your classes by the due date, it has some examples of how you can make goals and schedules for yourself. Under this is a section about mindfulness where you can see some of the information about what mindfulness is and its benefits and how it can benefit you in your schooling and how you can practice it. There's information about the appropriate mindset to have when you're starting school and having a mindset that is going to help you be more successful as you're going through school. Under this is some calming motivation, and this is really just an online calm room for you to use as you're doing school. So if you start to feel stressed or overwhelmed by school, or you would like help to stay in a calm and focused mindset as you're working on school, this page has a lot of resources like some calming videos, app suggestions, podcasts, articles, guided meditations, and other things that can help you stay in that proper mindset or achieve that mindset that you want to have to be successful in your school. And finally, at the bottom is information about gratitude so that we can be having a mindset and an attitude of gratefulness and gratitude and positivity as we're working through school. And so it has information about affirmations, manifesting, and ways to live out gratitude in your everyday life as you're working through school. So we hope that you will be using this Orion adult site often and that these resources will be helpful to you in your journey with your education. If you have questions about any of the resources that are available or how to access this site, please contact your teacher or your Orion location.